Anything else for me? All right, so I'm going to bring up Coach here, and as kind of ruined my thunder with the first question, we hired Joel and super excited and to see what he can do. From the time he got on campus in July, to now is really amazing. The work ethic is off the charts. Is things that probably you don't know when you're hiring. From work ethic, his recruiting ability, his connections throughout the country in the baseball world, from professional to agent advisors to travel baseball and different connections in college baseball. I heard about, but that's why that wasn't the reason we brought him here. We brought him here to coach our pitchers, but that's been exciting for us. But he's a guy that was the minor league pitching coordinator for the Cleveland Guardians for 4 years, and then two previous seasons to that was a minor league pitching coach there. And prior to that was made several stops in college baseball at New Mexico State, Louisiana Monroe, Austin P, and others. And so he understands what we do at a college baseball level, and super excited he's part of our program. Joel Mangrum.
How are y'all doing? Oh, wonderful. Appreciate y'all having me. Just super excited to be here, be a part of the Ole Miss program, and Coach Bianco's family, as well as Laugh and Clement and the rest of our staff. So I guess I can kind of open it up and let you guys fire away questions.
You accept this job and kind of looking from the outside in. What was kind of your early initial thoughts of this pitching staff that you were kind of inheriting?
Yeah, great question. Knowing college baseball a little bit, knowing kind of the direction that it was headed, and knowing that there was some real talent here. Obviously, Hunter Elliott and Mason Nichols and guys like that, Riley Maddox, Connor Spencer, some guys that had been a part of the national championship team, some guys that had success, but also knowing college baseball rosters kind of change a little bit year to year. I think it was more or less about I'm from the state of Mississippi. My dad still lives in Jackson. And then getting to know Mike Bianco was something that I wanted to be a part of. From the outside in, you view Ole Miss as a special place, but it's a lot more special getting to be a part of it once you're on the inside. So I think it was more about the staff and Coach B and Coach Laugh and Coach Clement for me.
There's a few Ole Miss alum in the Guardians pitching system. Did you have any conversations with them about what this place was like?
Just when we drafted them, not really going through the process, to be honest. Those guys are trying to live out their dreams and their careers. And, Dylan called. I know Coach B had reached out to him during the process, as well as Doug. And they were like, hey, is this something that you're serious about? I'm like, of course, that's why he's calling you. But more so just, hey, fellas, go enjoy doing what you're doing, and less about, hey, give me the dope. Just more, I think one thing that you'll find out about me is I'm more into the relationships and just the people that you're around every day. And this is such a great place. And by the time they had called, I kind of already had made my mind up, to be honest.
So far, what have you seen, just your starting the relationship with Hunter Elliott? What have you seen as he's working his way back?
An uber talented kid. Somebody that is growing up right before our eyes. I think he's starting to figure out how good he can be, and it's pretty special to get to be a part of every day.
How much has college baseball and I guess being a pitching coach changed since the last time you were in college?
Oof, it's a different game. The recruiting part's changed a ton. The development of the player and building relationships and those type things are still the same. You're trying to get them to normalize things, be the same way that they are when they throw a bullpen as when they throw a live or when they pitch in a game. And you're just trying to help young people grow up, make good decisions, and be the same people every day. It's not as much life or death. That part's not changed. It's probably more so the recruiting part that has really changed.
How much do you like leaning on analytics? I mean, you mentioned the toys that Ole Miss has here, and certainly you have those other places. Are you a big analytics guy, or I guess what's your overall philosophy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Coach B and Coach Laugh and Coach Clement, they'd probably call me a Swiss Army knife. I feel like there's probably no one in the country in college baseball that has a better background in analytics and biomechanics and ball flight data, et cetera. Just because, it's no one's fault, but what I've been exposed to with the Cleveland Guardians. But, I think anybody in the pitching side would tell you that there's more to it than just that. It's the development of people. It's the development of a young man into a grown man, helping him handle, competition and being able to be himself and stay calm and be able to make good decisions.
Obviously, you're from the state of Mississippi, as you said. Just how familiar were you with this place before taking this job?
So I've known Carl Lafferty for a long time. I've known of Coach B, pretty familiar, not to the depths that I know it today, but it's a place that you can win a national championship every year, and that's something that I really wanted to be a part of.
For you, having been where a lot of these guys are probably going to go or hoping to get to at that next level, how big is it having that experience and kind of having those talks with them as the season goes on or their careers take level?
It's huge. I mean, even just from my personal standpoint, I think when I was 24 years old, I became a Division I assistant, and you're constantly thinking you're ready for the SEC, and I wasn't. But, at this point in time, like having that experience and seeing what it takes, day in and day out to be a major league player, I think it's super helpful. It's a lot of things you don't understand until you see it for yourself. And I think that's part of my role, is to help them understand to being present today. And, your daily habits create consistency, and that consistency is what's going to make you a major league player or a successful pitcher in the SEC.